Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Conversations with VU Theater Department faculty members. My name is Melissa Hanebutt, and today I am joined by the Theater Program Chair and Assistant Professor, Kendra Clauser. How are you doing today, Kendra?
Pretty good, thanks for asking.
Yes. Okay, so first off, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and your personal background with all things theater and directing?
Sure, I've been doing theater since I was itty bitty. Started in church drama. My dad also did community theater, so eventually I got involved with that. My bachelor's is in theater, and then I kind of went on a hiatus for a while and did some history, and then I came back. But I've done almost everything at some point in my life when it comes to theater, except lighting and scenic design. So those are the only two that I'm not as comfortable with.
So now you're here and in this position. How would you describe what all that job entails?
Well, as a theater program chair, I am responsible for any kind of the paperwork, the assessment, the budgeting that is needed for anything that we do in the theater program. And as a professor, I teach anywhere between 4 and 7 classes a semester, just depending on what students need or what is available at any given semester.
And how long have you been here at VU?
This is my 7th year at VU.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice to have, because not in this day and age, a lot of times we don't have a chance to stay in jobs for a long period of time. So it is very nice to have, to feel as if this is kind of home for me.
Yes, and I know one thing students appreciate a lot is consistency, and to see similar and the same faces over and over, or at least for the span of a year, is a great time.
Yeah.
I know you've been a part of quite a few shows over your time here, but if you had to pick just one, it's always a hard question, so that's okay.
Yeah.
What would you say was your favorite show that you directed here, and why?
Oh, wow. Let's see. There's several that I really enjoyed for potentially different reasons. I think doing Paula Vogel's How I Learned to Drive several years ago, because it deals with some issues around pedophilia and sexual abuse to underage women. It was different than things they'd done in the past, so that was really exciting. And it was a really small cast, so we worked together as a team very well. Diary of Anne Frank, just because it's Diary of Anne Frank. It was beautiful, and everybody was, again, a great team. We all worked together well. Oh, I think, and when I did this show, I was the costume designer, Cabaret. For a lot of reasons, it was a lot of the kids that were here when I first came, and also it was just a visually stunning show. So I gave you 3.
Close enough. Now, since a major portion of what you do is teach a good amount of the theater classes here, what would you say is your favorite part about getting to teach students new skills and just learn new things that they probably haven't before in such a specific area?
I would say, first of all, I absolutely love working with students. I've had such a good experience here, and because we're a small program, it's really, we have the opportunity to work together, get to know each other well, and so not only do I often have experiences with teaching, but often students who are in their 2nd or 3rd year might also have an opportunity to help new students learn. I think for me, a lot of times the costuming class that I teach, because kids come in not knowing anything about sewing, and usually by the end of the semester they'll have made some piece of clothing, and it's just very exciting to see them go from one point to the other, and most of them don't think they'll be able to do it at the beginning, and they all 9 times out of 10 do it.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see go from what is a sewing needle, that goes where, how, to I made a shirt or I made a skirt.
Yeah.
And just seeing it come to life from a student perspective is really amazing. So I can only imagine what it's like from a professor point of view.
Yeah.
Now, finally, if a prospective theater student was kind of on the fence about attending BU or not, what would you tell them about this program specifically to kind of help them solidify in their choice of, yes, I want to come here?
Well, first off, I try to explain how being a small program, our students have an opportunity to do tech or to act on stage or whatever they came here to study from day one. And so I think the amount of experience students who really want to put the work in can gain while they're here, whereas at larger universities, often they have upwards of 200 students. And yes, they have a lot more faculty, but you don't always get the opportunity to work on main stage like you do with us. And we try our hardest to incorporate both theater students and non-theater students because anyone can audition for our shows. Also, I think for people who are nervous about going to a large school, VU is great. Everybody's very friendly. It's more like a family feel. And so I think for some students who are coming from smaller areas, I think that helps a lot. And it makes that transition from high school to college and then potentially to a 4-year school a lot easier.
Well, thank you, Kendra, for joining me today. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that is all the time we have with this segment, but be sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any future videos with the department. Take care.